All right, I'm going to need some corporate music. Okay, does anybody have any? We're going to need some kind of generic corporate music or something to convey that this is some serious shit. We're on the brink of civilization moving from one phase to another. Authentic Mystic, are you ready for virtual friends? And I don't mean you and I on the internet hanging out. It's not going to be long before we have some kind of thing on the other side that looks like a person. It'll be your best friend. We're not long from having robots that we can program to sound like anybody you want. We're collecting enough data of everybody's voices where it really won't be hard for artificial intelligence to reconstruct anybody's voice. We're already seeing good uses for this in music. You can get Bjork to sing Queen. Pretty soon you're going to be able to get Chris Cornell to sing Frank Sinatra. Global Coup d'etat, Dakota Fisher, Christina Bray, Angela Smalls Wallace, Ali Perry, Benny, Matthew, Rob. So we're going to spend the rest of our lives talking about how you and I remember life before the robots. Back when I was your age, I used to talk on the phone with a real human. It's going to be like that. I fell in love with a real human, and we actually hung out on the phone. We're getting closer and closer to the simulation of these kinds of things, as the prediction and recommendation engines will figure out exactly what you like and what you don't like, and will be able to work you just as efficiently as... Anyway, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I wanted to talk about with you what your concerns are moving into robot-controlled everything. Artificial intelligence as the middleman in between you and your family's entire all the resources that you're going to need. There are people out there who have concerns about this, and they're very upset, and I want to make myself available to help them come up with a plan of action to be able to reduce how much they and their family are going to get hurt. Ashley is correct. The ants are back, and they're madder than ever. So watch out for that. It's going to be... in the winter, the ants are going to recede a little bit. But, if it's warm in the house and you got enough food, that's where they're going to live. So watch out for the ants. Okay, does anybody do a work from home kind of thing? How does that work? What does that look like? And if you can work from home, why are you still in your geographical area that you grew up in? That's a good question. Interdimensional Nomads here. Hello. Chris, what's good? Jake is here. Okay. We're getting everything started. We're going to do a session talking about the future and where your concerns are with artificial intelligence. If anybody's afraid of robots taking their jobs or anything, I'm going to be here for a little while to talk about it with you. The kinds of stuff that we shouldn't really be talking about when we're hanging out during a radio show, we can get done in the afternoon. Authentic Mystic is trying to work from home, freelancing and relaunching a business. Okay, well that's good. Once you get that hooked up, you'll be able to live anywhere. Are you currently stuck in a geographic area where you grew up in, or did you choose to live where you are? So during the radio show, I get a lot of serious questions here and there, and I'm like, hey, this is a great question, but we're going to have to deal with this kind of thing in the afternoon. When we're trying to sleep, it might not be a good time to be thinking about robot takeover. Hello, Puff and Pass. Good to see you again. King Digby 1518. Zane. How's your inventories looking, everybody? Are you stocked for the winter? You're definitely going to have enough food. Hey, Chris. Happy haircut. What up, Jill? Alright, I'm going to put up a sticker so I don't have to keep reintroducing ask about robot takeover. Okay. Right. Okay, so Puff and Pass has brought up don't fear the robots. All we got to do is make good robots. And that's a good idea. Rule number 1 of programming was don't be evil. And Google has recently erased that from their books. Don't be evil is no longer rule number 1. But if you make any robots, definitely make good robots. That said, if a robot replaces your job, that's good for who? So they could still say it's a good robot. Depends on who makes the call. Suffering makes the business very difficult. Authentic Mystic says, suffering makes my business very difficult. Your suffering or your client's suffering? Or all of our suffering? Hello, Robin. Good afternoon. Puff and Pass says, whoever gets the pizza. Okay, everybody. We're looking at a tsunami of job losses coming in the next few years as artificial intelligence and robots are going to very quickly replace most of the common jobs in America. This is a crisis that the governments and the WEF and the education system is woefully unprepared for. This is very serious, and it's going to be a massive shift that's going to completely change the entire world. It has already begun, and this is not a passing fad. This is something that's going to continue to speed up and move us into techno-fascist feudalism. Okay, here we go. It's my job. I'm not mad at robots deliver pizza. It's only a crisis to capitalism. Okay, so Puff and Pass is not worried about losing the pizza delivery job to driverless cars. That's good. If we have anybody else who is afraid, though, I'm here available with you and for you to talk about that. I'm going to set up a new goal. Let's set up a fire, and let's go for something high so you don't interrupt the presentation. All right. Alex Perelson. That is not a good question. There are plenty of PhDs that you're going to be able to find on TikTok if you are concerned with educational background. All right. Puff and Pass. You're nice to therapy, but why focus on fear? Because it's the afternoon. I run a late night radio show that's positive vibes only, but that is unrealistic. We are going to have to deal with the fear from time to time, and in the afternoon, I want to get angry, I want to get fucking serious. So, now that the kids are at school, you and I can talk like adults. It's 2:24 on the East Coast, and some random guy just got in here. People's Talk Show, what's going on? Okay, I can't afford the luxury of worrying about robots. Okay, good. Well, we haven't found the right people yet, but the right people will find me. Somewhere out there, there are millions of people who are afraid of AI. Like, they're extremely afraid. They make content about it. They talk about it every day. There's people out there who are afraid of robots taking their jobs. Any minute, one of them is going to scroll into here, and we're going to be able to start getting into material. In the meantime, I'm just trying to introduce the topic. And, all right, Puff and Pass, I'll see you soon. Some random guys hanging out. Hello. Authentic. Puff and Pass, come back during the radio show. It's going to be positive vibes only. We're going to be able to tell jokes. We don't have to worry about adult stuff. Chris, thank you for the likes. All right. Okay. I'm going to start over. Within the next few years, we're looking at a huge wave of job losses as artificial intelligence and robots are going to very quickly replace millions and millions of workers and displace millions of families, not only in the United States, but throughout the world. This process has already begun, and this is not a passing fad. This is the future. So you and your family may or may not have an action plan for how to adjust and adapt to this. This is a very serious topic that many people think about every single day. And I used to be very dedicated with talking about this on TikTok every single day. And I found that it's kind of more profitable to do positive vibes only experience. But that is unrealistic and unsustainable. So here I am in the afternoon, and I'm going to literally lose money by hanging out and making myself available to talk about this very serious topic for anybody who needs help with that or has concerns with this. Molly, thank you for joining. I'm going to hang out while we wait for more of our friends to get in here. And if anybody has any concerns about robots taking your jobs, or if you have any concerns about artificial intelligence and what it is and how you can protect yourself, I'm available for the next 20 minutes or so, or hours. It depends on if anybody comes in here. All right, here we got a comment. James Islander. Had an officer tell me he's looking for someone with one eye. Told him he had better luck using two. That is excellent. James, you're really funny. You should come back when we do the Positive Vibes Only radio show. All right. Okay, that jerk off is gone. Justice, hello, good to see you again. All right, it is 2:26 on the East Coast, and we're hanging out in brand new, fresh, innovative way. No, we're not. Fuck it. Let's just go to Target or something. Thank you, Authentic Mystic. We'll try again tomorrow. I'm not going to take any satisfaction in... I'm going to... Some of us have a curse of not necessarily precognition, but being able to calculate trajectories and see where things are heading. And then when these things happen, you'll have family and close friends being like, oh my god, why didn't you tell me? Be like, well, I did fucking tell you, but you cared more about having positive vibes only, so... But I'm not going to take satisfaction in playing I told you so after almost everybody I know gets replaced by a robot and they're unable to eat. What we have now is an opportunity to get these discussions out in the open and start it now so we can develop action plans and develop ways to adjust to what's coming. I am dissatisfied with many people who talk about these kind of things because they act like the fucking sky is falling. And usually you don't feel better after listening to people who are usually in this kind of space. I want to be able to find someone who's I want someone who's in disruption to find me, and I'm going to be able to bring them to a neutral state of peace, empowering people and getting them to feel like they actually can do something about it. Alright, I come to this account to work, so if we're going to hang out, I'm going to go back to the main account, because that's what that main account is for. So, I'm going to close this up, and I'm going to reappear on the other account. I want to thank everybody. We're going to try to do we'll try to do a learning session again tomorrow. I used to do this every day. I used to talk about robots in the future, and I started to get a little bit of a following for it. And still to this day, I still get people running up to me from time to time being like, hey man, you were more interesting when you were talking about robots. Now all you're doing is, what are you even doing? Yeah, I know. But I don't want to spend too much time dilly-dallying on this account. So I'm gonna sign off. Because if we're going to hang out unstructured, we're going to do that on the main.